Hello everyone! So I'm going to start doing voiceovers for Speedpaint instead of putting music to them. Not saying that all my Speedpaints will not have music, but the majority will have a voiceover. So what I'm doing here is a book drawing challenge where I take two of my favorite things, drawing and books, and combine them. So what I do is a set of images for a book. I have to read the book first, most importantly. Then I do a general image of what I captured from the story of the book, is what I'm doing here. And then I'll do several smaller images that go chapter by chapter, or major event by major event. And those images may never be fully rendered to, I guess, background, colored, shaded, ink, but they could get to the point of being a flat color, just an inked image, or just a sketch. And those will be a Patreon exclusive viewing. So I decided to start off this challenge with one of my favorite book series, the Warrior series, and I originally wanted to do it in chronological order, but when I started planning this back in July, the entire Dawn of the Clans had yet to come out yet. I think at the time I only had up to the 4th book, so I was still missing a book in the series, because I believe the 5th one had already come out. At the time of this recording, the entire series is out, and the Super Edition that comes right after has been published, and I have all of those. But I won't be getting to that till after Bramblestar Storm. So I started off with the 4 Super Editions that come prior to The Prophecy Begins, which, if you've not heard that term used, it's the first arc. I kind of stumbled upon that it's now called that when I was looking for character descriptions, or better character descriptions than what's at the beginning of the book. That was a little annoying that they added that in recently. So starting off with Tallstar's Revenge, which is chronologically would be the first of the Super Editions, because Tallstar is the oldest leader when we start The Prophecy Begins. So, and he's the one who lives the longest, besides Firestar, I think. As a leader, I think he's one of the ones who lives the longest. Okay, I'm getting off track. But, this, out of all the 4 Super Editions, this one is my favorite. I didn't read all of them prior to starting this. I read Blue Star's Prophecy, and that was it. But I knew from The Prophecy Begins, I knew Yellowfang's story, and Crooked Star's story just seemed to get popular with a lot of artists I follow, so I kind of just figured out his story from actually a lot of PMVs I've seen. And but Tallstar's Revenge, I just went in blind, not knowing what was going to happen. And I'm glad I did, because out of all 4 Super Editions, this one is my favorite. I love Tallstar's story and his journey, probably because you learn that you learn about Firestar's father and who he was. And then there's just the relationship between Jake and Tallstar, which was beautiful, in all honesty. So the art I'm doing here is, well, it's obvious. Like I said earlier, it's the generalized information I got from the book, and so I decided to add our main protagonist, Tallstar, which, unlike the other books, there is no technical, actual antagonist. The antagonist is all internal. There's no, oh, you're the antagonist. For a while, Sparrow is deemed the antagonist, but the thing is, only by Tallstar is he ever deemed the antagonist. which I really like. I just find a lot of the books, it's a lot of external issues with a little internal, but this one was a lot more internal problems and dealing with and how to deal with the external around you while your internal is conflicting, and that was just really great. So for the artwork, I wanted to put obviously Tallstar, Jake, his parents, um, the Rogues, Barkface, Shrew-Claw, and actually Heather Star ended up being a last-minute addition, just because then I remembered, oh right, that prologue, completely from Heather Star's perspective, and there's important information there. So I added her in last minute when I was sketching. And the programs I use are Photoshop and Clip Studio Paint. Now, the only thing I did in Photoshop was do my coloring, and everything else was done in Clip Studio Paint. I guess that's what's recorded. I did my sketch and the sketch coloring in Photoshop, but I don't record that due to the fact that I just don't find recording my sketches would be very interesting, because I get really jumpy in my sketches. I'm very rough, unless it's just never going beyond a sketch. If it's an image, I'm just like, I'm sketching this out, this is where it's staying, then I'll stay there. But if I'm finalizing it, I'm very loose, so I can fill details in through inking, or try and just keep my anatomy loose so once if I do need more detail in a sketch, I will add it as I'm inking, and then ink that, like you saw early on in the video with the paws, of Tallstar's paws. I initially wanted to do that, the colored shading, but I decided to go with a non-colored shading in the end. So we're coming to the end of the video. If you like the video, please like, comment, and if you want to see more art videos, please subscribe. To see more artwork early, become a Patreon, and see you all soon!